Hey, I'm Green, a.k.a. Matcha, and I'm getting interviewed for At the Decor. So, I'm coming face to face with myself. I'll start off with where I'm from. I'm from LA. I grew up in South LA. I moved around a lot. So I got to see a lot of shit. And I definitely got to be around a lot of different groups of people. And I definitely built character because I got into a lot of different things. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm from. I'm from LA. What's next? So, Green, where did the name come from? The name Green really came from me falling in love with the color green. Like, a couple years ago, I was super in love with the color green, and I still am to this day. I dyed my hair green, and then from there, I was just super intrigued by it, so I started calling myself Green, and then people asked me my name, and I was like, I'm Green, and I'm Green. Green is associated with the love chakra, and I just feel like I have so much love to give, so much love to spread, and I'm just green. So that's where the name really came from. And I love green tea, so yeah, I'm really like matcha. What inspires you as an artist? I would say I'm really inspired by music. Like, any emotion that I'm not able to explain, someone else is able to explain in music. And I always when I'm running out of ideas or I feel trapped, I'm listening to music, and it instantly inspires me or makes me feel better and just strikes creativity within me. So a lot of my art is inspired by music. I also gain inspiration from my friends. I have a lot of creative friends. And going around my friends really inspires me. It just makes me want to create dope shit. And too close. Okay. I'm also inspired by the chaos of life, the beauty and the chaos mixed together is really just me. That's what my art is chaos and just beauty coming together and uniting. And I just think, that's what really inspires my art. The chaoticness of life can be so beautiful, and I just try to turn that into something beautiful and dope. My favorite artist right now would be Murakami. I just love all the colors and different textures, and I like how something so simple where the flowers and that could just when people look at it, you just know oh, that's that artist, because you see the flowers and they just know that's Murakami. So I just want people to know when they see my art, that's green. The different colors, the symbolism in my art, I just want people to know that's me when they see my art. So yeah, I'm really inspired by Murakami. I've also been inspired by Basquiat. His art is super fucking dope. The chaoticness of his art just speaks to me and definitely inspired my work when I first started out as an artist. And yeah, those are my top 2 artists that like add to my influence for real. What else do the people want to know? I feel like what makes me an artist is the way I express myself with colors. Like, I feel like that's a big part of my art. Like, colors, patterns, and how they all come together. Like, it just, like, creates a different feeling. Like, colors really just create emotion for me. So, sometimes when I'm just painting, it just, like, I start off with one color and then I add in another color, and somehow they just all end up coming together, like, beautifully. So yeah. What else can I talk about? I can show you guys some art. Let's get into it. Oh, good job of shit. I'm gonna start off with the earlier pieces. This was created in like, I would say 2020, like fresh out of high school, just like first hopping into like wanting to be an artist, but not knowing what direction to go into. And yeah, this was my representation of myself at the time. I had my little puffballs going on. I was burning the city down on some like rebel shit. So yeah, that was like one of my earlier paintings. This is a painting I did of one of my favorite albums by the band Death Grips, The Money Store. I really like this one. This is one of my favorite ones, like with the colors and the edgy like lines. This is really one of my favorite pieces for sure. This is really the prize piece. This one just gives me like, when I was creating this, I just felt a feeling of doom. Like, that's kind of how I was feeling. And my art show was coming up. I was just feeling like super like anxious about it. And I was kind of creating like manically, I would say. Like, and this piece was really like more of like a celebration piece and trying to like enjoy what was happening instead of like feeling anxious about it. So as you can see, it's kind of chaotic, but it's like, you know, in a celebratory way. This is a darker piece. Honestly, I feel like this matches my vibe right now. Yeah, this one is kind of like dark, but I was definitely feeling like a darker vibe when I made this. But I really like this too because it just shows like there's beauty in chaos, like, you know. And I'm looking back, I'm like, I can feel the emotions like of when I actually created it, and I feel like that's the beautiful thing about art. Like, you get to look back on when you created it and the whole process, and like that's like art right there, like just the process of creating. This one's undone, and I really want to finish it, but this one gave me like a really happy feeling when I started making it. I didn't even know what I was painting. I just started, and yeah, this one's just hella vibes. To be continued for sure. Yeah, that's an example of my art. As you can see, it kind of matches the artist. Yeah. What makes your art authentic? I feel like what makes my art authentic is the creating process. I feel like everyone's creation process is different, and I just allow myself to like actually take in emotion with my process, so I don't feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to create unless I'm really like feeling it or feeling like inspired. So I feel like that makes my art authentic. And I feel like the symbolism in my art is just something different, and it's authentic. It's me. It's green. No one creates like I do. No one has the same process as me. And that's something I had to realize, like, as an artist, like finding my own creative process and not trying to like be like anyone else when it comes to being an artist. Like, it's really just finding what makes you happy, like, in your creation process. So I definitely feel like my art is authentic in that way. So Green, where do you see your art going in the future? What is your vision for yourself and your art? Honestly, my vision for my art is to turn it into fashion. And also, I would like to start a show. I want to start like an edgy like cartoon series. And I want to learn how to actually animate my own show. And that's really my goal for my art, is to be able to turn my art into a show, but not only mine, to be able to animate people's art and turn it into like moving pictures. So I plan on going to school for animations and taking it further, definitely. Because painting on canvases is cool and all, but like I really want to see my shit like in motion, like definitely. And I also want to get my friends to voice act for my show, because that would be like crazy as fuck. So I definitely want to take it in that direction. I feel like building sculptures like of my characters would be super dope as well. So that's something I want to do for sure. Yeah. I also want to take my art to the streets. It would be super dope to paint a mural for someone, you know, really like get outside and have my shit like on the wall. I feel like that would be a goal for myself, like definitely. Honestly, this next year coming up, like I would love to do a mural for sure. All right, y'all. It was nice chatting with myself. I actually feel like I need to think more about what direction I want to take my art. So this was a talk that I needed to have with myself. Thank you, Katira, for having me on Ether Decor, you know. Yeah. Deuce. Yeah.